The objective of the Civil-Military Relations Project is to strengthen civil-military relations in Nigeria to improve accountability, security, and human rights. Since the commencement of the Cleen Foundation Civil-Military Relations work in 2015, the military has implemented several reforms to improve its interactions with the public and its ability to fulfill its public mandate. These reforms are best exemplified by the recent Federal Ministry of Defense establishment of a Civil-Military Relations Desk and the Army's establishment of a Human Rights Desk, operationalized up to the divisional level, and its corresponding Human Rights Call Center. Despite these reforms, there are still challenges in full compliance to the human rights norms and standards. I remember during the election that we sent a letter to the Defense Headquarters informing them of the need for security agencies to abide the rules of engagement in terms of election security management. Interestingly, we received a reply, and they told us that they actually have a rule of conduct, a code of conduct for security agencies deployed for election work. And we requested for a copy, actually, to look at it. And it might interest you that we received 5 copies. And although you know the letter with which the documents were sent is also had the same restricted. So we have those copies, and we have reviewed them, and we use them in our work. But that also shows things that have improved over the years. Like I told you as I was beginning, then in 2015, we sent several letters for engagement, and we didn't receive a reply. But now we have this opportunity to interact, communicate, and also receive documents officially from the Nigerian Armed Forces. While Cleen Foundation has successfully initiated a dialogue between civil society and the military through previous iterations of those projects, this phase of the process will now focus on fostering frank and more systematic conversations around military reforms to promote accountability, security, and respect for human rights in Nigeria. Of course, we know there is a procedure that is in place to review the Armed Forces Act, and we hope that that review will see the light of the day, and that it will become a law to ensure that the rules of engagement, Nigerians understand it, and that our armed forces also play their part.
It's my pleasure to welcome all of us to phase 4 of this project on civil-military relations in Nigeria. The project is a collaborative effort of the National Human Rights Commission, the Center for Law Enforcement Education in Nigeria, Cleen Foundation, a non-governmental organization, and the Institute of Peace and Conflict Resolution, with support from National Endowment for Democracy. First, we must understand what civil-military relations entails. It is a relationship between the civil societies on one part and the military and other paramilitary and law enforcement agents on the other. It also entails a reciprocal relation between the civil authorities and military authorities for better accountability, security, and respect for human rights in Nigeria. In the past, the civil-military relations in Nigeria has been quite appalling. However, there has been significant departure from the old norm, and this roadmap intends to develop and build further upon the robust civil-military relations presently ongoing in the country. The consortium have undertaken a series of activities to foster civil-military relations in Nigeria. As you may recall, the roadmap, which aims at addressing certain challenges and gaps in civil-military relations, was formally launched in October 2016. Participants at this event are critical stakeholders in the civil-military relations process. So your role in implementing the recommendations outlined in the roadmap is key to sustaining the objectives of CMR. This forum, therefore, will provide the civil-military relation stakeholders opportunities to discuss the recommendations outlined in the CRM roadmap, and also serve as a platform for pushing for more action on strengthening the role of the actors.
I feel highly delighted to be part of today's auspicious occasion and to deliver this goodwill message as we are gathered to formally launch and unveil the new civil military relations publication of Cleen Foundation, entitled Deepening Civil Military Relations for Effective Peace Building and Democratic Governance. I would like to commend and congratulate the Cleen Foundation and, of course, the National Human Rights Commission for this initiative and for the Foundation's unwavering commitment to implementing the efforts of the Nigerian defense sector in promoting civil-military relations in the country. The Nigerian public is certainly more familiar with the slogan, "Police is your friend." Members of the public need to also appreciate that members of the Armed Forces of Nigeria are even more than your friends. The officers and men of the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Air Force are indeed your defenders, who lay down their lives in defense of the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. These officers and men make supreme sacrifices to ensure an atmosphere of peace required for other social, political, and economic activities to thrive. If anything, therefore, the officers and men deserve understanding and appreciation from the civil populace at all times. However, experience has shown that the relationship between civilians and military personnel is often devoid of cordiality.
On behalf of the Chief Army Staff and the other service chiefs, I want to sincerely identify with the Cleen Foundation for your effort and this very noble initiative. Let me say a big congratulations for what you have been doing. We are doing a lot as far as the issue of civil-military affairs is concerned. We don't just accept it, but we believe in it, and we accept it, and we practice it. Like was earlier mentioned, all the three services established that department. For instance, that of Nigerian Army was established in December 2010. That's almost 9 years ago. Primarily to interface between you, the civil populace, and us, the military, through dialogue, through collaboration with critical stakeholders, such as you seated here. In addition to that, we established Human Rights Desk. That of Army was established in 2016, February 2016. And it wasn't just for show, it was real, it was vodka. To ensure that we create that enabling environment for the complainants, especially the civilians, to feel free. One, they don't even wear a uniform. Their office was not co-located at Army headquarters. In fact, it was located somewhere outside. That enabling environment was created deliberately to encourage you, if you have issue, you can easily go and complain. And a lot of testimonies, a lot of feedback from civilians confirmed that, yes, indeed, they observed issues, they complained, and they was responded to. The desk in all three services, they were established to receive, document, and treat cases, ranging from the issue of domestic abuse, kidnapping, prostitution, cheat, breach of trust, and so on and so forth. All other issues, once you have, as long as you know you are right, was infringed upon. Somebody cheat you, or maybe did something to you that you think is wrong, we have a case, just reach out. You can use the email addresses, probably before we leave here, if you want, I can give you. We can give you their contact number, we can give you the address, it's all the services. All you need to do is document it, try to get evidence, go and let the complaint. I am sure absolutely they will engage to it.
For us, in the Nigerian police, we believe that a robust civil-military relationship is important for all of us. It will help in deepening the respect for human rights. It will help in institutionalizing a mechanism that will help in preventing conflicts between the civil populace and our military personnel. A robust civil military relations will also help in providing tools for managing conflicts when they indeed occur. A robust civil and military relations will help to serve as early warning and institutionalize a conflict prevention mechanism for all of us. And for those of us who are in other paramilitary institutions, or for those of us who are in other security agencies other than the Nigerian military, a robust civil military relation will also help in strengthening the synergy and the relationship between the military and other security agencies. So you can see from all ramifications, this is something we should all work for. It is something we must all support. It is something we must all drive. And that explains why the Nigerian police force, under the current leadership of the current IGP, will do everything humanly and operationally possible to support this initiative.
In an effort to further defend the defenseless in the country, the management of the Corps decided to set up Peace and Conflict Management Departments with the coordinating department at national headquarters, and we have these units all over the states of the Federation. What do we do? Essentially, we do what we call alternative dispute resolution via mediation, conciliation, and so on. It's a way of standing in for civil-military relations activities. And the only way we can do this is to set up that department. Last year alone, the Corps was able to resolve over 14,000 cases nationwide. An amount of money, more than 200 million naira, was assisted or facilitated to be recovered.
I just want to share with us, within the next 5 minutes, the peculiarities with this phase of the CMR project. This phase is slightly different from earlier intervention, in that on earlier intervention, we were conducting town hall meetings, accountability forums that were driven by the military. This time around, we are partnering with civil society organizations that are doing human rights work at the state and regional levels to work with the military and key government oversight agencies at their levels to track reports of complaints against the military and drive advocacy to ensure that these complaints are addressed. Through a human rights monitoring desk and partnership with the NHRC, it will document records of complaints and responses while publicizing reporting channels for the public. These CSOs, 2 per region, have been carefully selected, leveraging on a strong track record of their work at the state and communities. NESRIN, which is a network for security sector reform in Nigeria, will share its documentation with the National Human Rights Commission and use this information to guide targeted advocacy initiatives that support ongoing military reforms, initiatives around reforms. NESRIN members will carry out quarterly advocacy visits to the military, especially the Army, and its existing human rights desks across the divisions and their civil military desks in all across the services, to discuss the complaints they have received from citizens and against military personnel. During these advocacy visits, NESRI members will promote strategies for strengthening the military's ability to prevent, manage, and respond to human rights abuses, drawing extensively from their context-based experience. To prepare the NESRI members to fulfill these duties, Cleen will be building capacities for mandate delivery for both the NESRI members and staff of the National Human Rights Commission. A training is going to hold tomorrow for the members and for the CRU, the Complaint Response Unit of the Nigerian Police Force, the Police Service Commission, and then we are going to have the Human Rights Desk Officer of the Nigerian Army, who is going to share experiences of what they have been doing so far. Thereafter, Cleen will continue to coordinate the network and continue to provide mentoring support, including scaling up unresolved issues to the military at the headquarters level.